Hi everyone, this is Peter Ray Allison here for Geek Pride, and we've been sent a box from 3D Publishing. Now these are the guys behind the tabletop role-playing games Tales from the Loop and Mutant Year Zero, both fantastic role-playing games. But more recently they released the Alien role-playing game, which frankly is fantastic. Now, this wasn't the first role-playing game based on Alien or Aliens. There was the Aliens role-playing game from back in 1989, and it was, to be fair, pretty shit. More recently, Aliens came out, and it was absolutely phenomenal. Completely different to all that's gone before. Rules light, atmosphere heavy, really recreated that unique feel and atmosphere that is Alien. And yeah, they've just recently released some new products to go with Alien, so we're going to have a look inside. First up, we have the Alien starter set. Now, even before we go inside the box, just look at the artwork. If anything screamed Alien, the artwork. You've got the grunt with the flamethrower and that curving xenomorph tail behind him, or behind them, I should say. And yeah, it looks absolutely fantastic. If anything that screamed Alien, this is it. In fact, all the artwork in the Alien role-playing game is absolutely fantastic, and the artists should be absolutely commended for really firing all cylinders with this product. So let's have a look inside. Right, first up we have the dice. We've got the skill dice and stress dice. Typical six-sided dice, except they've got some symbols have been replaced, replacing the numbers. So you can use normal six-sided dice, but just having dedicated dice is really useful. So absolutely, it's really great to have this dice here ready just to play the game. One thing I will add, the stress mechanic for which the stress dice is used is a fantastic mechanic for recreating Alien. Basically, as the game goes on, the characters accumulate stress. The more stress they have, they can do some skills better. But equally, there's a greater risk of something going catastrophically wrong. And yeah, basically, and that's when things get really interesting. Right, we've also got personal agenda and initiative cards. Now, personal agendas are used for the cinematic modules and are given to the players for their characters to have their own secret goals and missions throughout the game. So again, having these here just to give to the players, really useful. Right, next up is the rulebook. Now, one thing you'll notice from the get-go is that this is much smaller than the core rulebook that was released previously. We're looking at about just over 100 pages compared to the nearly 400 pages of the core rulebook. So you might be thinking this is like a stripped-down version, and you are sort of correct, but mechanically, system-wise, it's exactly the same. What you find in here is reflected entirely in the core rulebook. All that's missing is character creation, character experience, and some of the other creatures that you can find in the Alien universe. But this gives you all the system and mechanics you need to run the cinematic modules that have been released or will be released. So even if you just want to play cinematic modules and have no interest in the campaign play, this is all you need. I mean, let's go through it. Like, you've got equipment rules, weaponry, including the M41 air pulse rifle. You've got environment rules, stress and panic, combat, initiative, skills. Exactly mechanically the same, just omitted a lot of the background material that wasn't needed for the cinematic modules. So again, really useful book. Next up we have Chariot of the Gods. Now, some of the more keen-eyed amongst you will realise that this is not the first time it's been released, and you're absolutely right. This was the cinematic module released at the same time as the core rulebook, but here it is included. So basically, you've got everything you need to play a cinematic version of Alien. You don't need to get anything else. It's all here ready for you. And yeah, I'm not going to look through it too much, but as you can see, you get a good 40-page adventure here. Because that'll keep you going for a couple of sessions. Next up we have character sheets. Now this is the new thing. Before we didn't have dedicated character sheets, but here we, like I said, everything you need is ready to give out and hand out to your players. So you've got all the character sheets you need. On one side you've got the portrait of them, the biography, and their talents. And on the other side, it is their character sheet. So again, it's all ready. You do not need to prepare anything. You do not have to write out the character sheets or photocopy it or print it off. It's all here, ready to play, and really, really useful. Right. Next up, we have got a huge, this is huge, a huge star map, a double-sided map in fact. So on the one side, we have got the stars of Middle Heaven. Now, this is the setting for the Alien role-playing game, and as you can see, it's got everything you need. It's got like all the different factions. You can see all the different factions, where they are, how they all interlink with each other. So really, it's fantastic. Just a really useful player handout. And talking player handout, this is the setting for the Chariot of the Gods, the cinematic module. Now again, this is brilliant, absolutely fantastic map. It tells you exactly where everything is and basically where you need to go. And just having all this information just ready to put out on the table in front of players really is fantastic. And I just love the aesthetic of it. It kind of brings to fore that kind of retro futurism that is the Alien role-playing game. One thing I will add, I'll put it this way, is that there's two types of styles of play for the Alien role-playing game. There's the traditional campaign play, which is your characters go on adventures, you level up, and so on and so forth. Or there's the cinematic play, which is what the cinematic modules recreate, which is essentially more akin to the full-on Alien experience. Basically, not all of you will survive. If you look at Alien, only one person survived out of a crew of 8. Aliens, one person survived, another was horrifically injured, and a third was traumatized. So, yeah, basically the cinematic modules really do dig down, and that is why you have the dedicated characters, because, like I say, not all of them will survive, and you do not want players to kind of create their characters and then have their characters die after the second session. It's not good. So having something that they can all play and then give back afterwards is kind of eases the burden, so to speak. Now, next up, we have all the counters that you need to play Alien. So again, the motion counters and the environment counters, all here. And you flip over the motion counters, you see they've got the corresponding. So you can basically, right, okay, so for example, there's a chest burter. Okay, there's motion. Now, all the players will see is that there's this motion there. They don't know what it is until they actually go to that area and find it. And when you combine that with the map, really is a fantastic combination. And again, it brings to the fore that sense of unknown, that sense of mystery, and that the players who have to have their characters go out and explore and go into danger. So yeah, this Alien starter set, it really is fantastic. It's everything you need to play Alien out the box. There's nothing you need to print off. You don't need to get anything else. It's just all here, ready for you, and really is a fantastic collection. So yeah, let's put all these back. Okay, right, but there's more. We've also recently released Alien Destroyer of Worlds. Now, if Chariot of the Gods basically recreated the Alien experience, Destroyer of Worlds recreates the Aliens experience, and you can just tell that purely from the cover. You've got the Colonial Marines, you've got the smart guns, you've got the charging alien, you've got the pulse rifles, and again, it's just beautiful artwork. Again, everything in this game is just fantastically designed. Right, again, first up, we have got more plus genders. Basically, it's a new cinematic module, new genders. So again, it's more known for the players to deal with. And we've got story cards. Basically, further texture that you can bring to the game. Right, next up is the cinematic module, which is, well, first thing to notice, this is much bigger than Chariots of the Gods. Chariots of the Gods is about 40 pages. We're looking at least double that. Yeah, 85 pages. So this is a much bigger, deeper adventure, and will take longer to play. And it looks. I'm not going to read through it because there's a lot of unknown here. But yeah, there's a lot of material that the players will get their teeth into. So really good to see a really strong campaign. I've got some more characters here for the players to play. And like I said, this recreates the alien experience. Or rather, I should say the aliens experience. Again, so you've got all Marines, you've got the Sergeant, Privates, Private First Class, all Marines. And they've all got their own unique backstory, all unique bios. And again, on the back of them, you've got the character sheets, all ready set up to go. Right, next up, we've got like the maps. This is a huge map. So on one side, you've got the Ariarchus, United America's colony, and the other is Fort Nebraska ammunition depot. And again, just the level of detail here is just fantastic. And when you combine it with the counters, it's like, okay, you've got motion there. What is it? I don't know. You've got to go and find out what it is. Again, it's just put this in front of the players and just dot around what's going on, and they can see exactly where they are, what's going on, and what they need to do. And it basically just lightens the load for the GM and lets them focus on running the game and telling the story without having to deal with, like, just explain where everyone is in relation to each other. So again, really, really good. And there's more. Well, there's more maps. I'll let them not see. There's some more maps here. Yeah, so you got these are like Eye of Oblivion, Marshall Station, Oil Refinery, Medical Facility, sub-levels, and a handout. So yeah, basically lots of handouts here. Again, it's all printed off, ready for you to play. You do not need to print off anything. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to there's no like hidden costs or hidden accessories. It's all here, ready for you to play. And that just shows they're putting a lot of thought into preparing this module. And yeah, it really is. One thing I said, the design and the aesthetics really bring to the fore that retrofuturism that is so iconic to Aliens. You think back to how the screens work. The design of the maps kind of reflect that same grungy, broken down tech level. And yeah, let's put these back in. So yeah, this is Alien Starter Set, Alien Destroyer Worlds. Both fantastic products from 3D Publishing, and yeah, I really recommend them. I love Aliens, I love Alien, and yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah, it's basically a role-playing game I've been wanting for the past 30 years, and 3D Publishing have absolutely outdone themselves with these two. Now, the question is, if you've got the core rulebook, do you need the starter set? Personally, I would say yes. Frankly, there's the dice, there's the maps, there's the cinematic module, it's all there included. And frankly, the starter rulebook would be just useful to give to players if they need to look at rules themselves, or if a player wants to go away one evening and ask if they can read the rulebook. Yeah, give them that starter rulebook, that's all they need to read it. They do not need a 400-page rulebook. And frankly, giving someone a 400-page rulebook and say, right, here's the rules, go and learn it. When you've got wives, children, jobs, careers, squeezing a 400-page rulebook into that is a bit of a chore. Giving them something that, condensed 100-page rulebooks to give them a good understanding of the rules, much, much better use of their time. And the modules, yeah, absolutely, it's Aliens. It's Aliens. So what more do you need to know? If you want the full-on alien experience, this is one for you. And again, if you just want to play the cinematic modules, don't bother with the core rulebook. Get this, get the modules, and that is all you need. So, yeah, if you've got Aliens, tell us what you think. Let us know what you think. We'd love to hear from you. So, this has been Peter Ray Allison for Geek Pride signing off. Good night, take care.